يغفر الغفار ذنبي وزلتي كلام قديم لا يمل سماعه تنزه عن قولي وفعلي ونيتي به.
These are the sort of areas that Enciso will look to try and excel.
Yeah, that's where he's at his best, isn't it? In and around the penalty area, bit of movement, bit of skill. Be disappointed the way he just drags as he's falling away, drags the shot. Felt it was a corner kick as well.
Julio Enciso went off after just 25 minutes of his final warm-up match, a 4-0 win against Nicaragua, which made him a doubt, as I mentioned earlier, for this one. But they're absolutely delighted to have him out there. Almiron. Another like Enciso that Paraguay will look to get onto the ball as much as they possibly can. Miguel Almiron. You know the talent that he has. Plays in the MLS with Atlanta United. Indeed, there are 4 MLS players amongst the starting 22 today, 2 on each side. Ream and Fries for the USA, Almiron and Cubas for Paraguay. USA starting with 6 of the 11 that began the last 16 game in Qatar in 2022, the defeat against the Netherlands. Just one change from the starting 11 in their final warm-up match when they lost 2-1 to Germany, but played really well. Another day could easily have got a result. Here's Ream. Robinson is wide, offering the width. Steps inside to good effect, Anthony Robinson. And this falls kindly for the USA. And Paraguay is stretched. And there's an important interception there. The door was almost open to a second.
Well, it was desperate defending in the end. Once again, that ball in towards Weston McKennie. But look, Balogun, I thought he was going to take the strike on. He doesn't, he plays it to Dest. Such a poor first touch from Sergio Dest. Has to do better. It's a big, big chance. Unselfish play by Balogun.
Robinson with the corner. Still work to do here for Paraguay. Back out with Robinson. Good early ball in. I think the referee has given a free kick against Richards. There's a heavy clash of heads there with Alderete. And both players are flat out here.
Well, after the initial corner, came back out towards Robinson. I thought that was a great ball in. Begging to be attacked as Richards did. Both brave, Alderete right there. Clash between the two players. Richards would have done well to guide that with Alderete's pressure.
The delay for the injury to the two players has allowed Gustavo Alfaro in particular to get some much needed words of he hopes wisdom to his players who have been up against it for the most part. The USA a value for their lead. Pochettino at his press conference that we attended yesterday said and he wouldn't have much to say to his players in the 24 hours to kick off. It had all been said, and if they didn't know what was at stake and what they needed to do now, they never would know. But there's that incident again involving Richards and Alderete.
It happens. Both players, eyes on the ball, trying to win that header. Glad to see they're both up and look like they will be able to resume.
This is Paraguay's first World Cup match since 2010, a quarter-final against Spain, when they missed a penalty and lost to a late goal from the eventual world champions in South Africa. Paraguay finished in the last of the 6 automatic qualifying places via CONMEBOL. Well, from any angle, they'll look to deliver these long throws via Cáceres. Cáceres with the ball in, blocked by Ream. Just a little aggressive in the challenge, said our referee Danny McAlee. Ream found his way back into the MLS after a long career in England. 13 seasons in English football, 9 with Fulham, 4 with Bolton Wanderers. Here's Dest. Serginho Dest, just fresh from winning the Eredivisie title in the Netherlands with PSV Eindhoven. I'm sure if you've watched much of his career, you'll be aware that he's normally a right back, playing as a more advanced player than Pochettino set up. And it's a good partnership he's actually got with Freeman down the USA right. That's been evident in the build-up to this competition.
Yeah, similar with Robinson. But what brilliant play that was, again, by USA. Tillman. That's silky, isn't it, towards Weston McKennie. And again, if you can have that freedom and not feel the pressure, of course, of your home crowd, then you get the best out of yourself. I think we've already seen some of the best of USA so far and the strengths that they have.
They don't, at this stage anyway, look burdened by the heavy weight of expectation. There's a long way to go, and they'll be the first to fully respect the Paraguayan challenge. They are mentally strong, Alfaro's side. But they are yet to test Matt freezing the USA goal. Here's Ream. Richards. Freeman. Pulisic. Finding those little passes between the lines, aren't they? Some of this one-touch football and quick movement is very much keeping the Paraguayans on their toes.
Absolutely, and Tillman, Adams, McKennie, that trio so far, great movement. Like you say, the 1- and 2-touch play. making it really difficult. The concentration's having to be so high for Paraguay at the moment. But again, you can't discount them. Still only 1-0. And they'll be used to sort of sitting in still and defending, waiting for their moments.
Here's McKennie. Incidentally, the USA have only ever lost one game in the World Cup when they've scored first. And we'll have to have a pretty good memory to recall it. It was against Spain in 1950. And what they are, as well as finding little gaps through the middle, they're getting very good and effective play from the wide areas as we have our hydration break of 3 minutes duration. This will be familiar right through the competition and all the 104 matches.
And it will be a chance, won't it, for Gustavo Alfaro to get his players together. Reset, I'm sure. A few things to change, perhaps, because at the moment they're struggling to contain USA, especially in that midfield area. I wonder whether he wants a little bit more from Enciso to maybe drop and add an extra player there to defend.
Paraguay, in the first 6 rounds of qualifying, it yielded for them just 1 goal and 1 win. They also lost all their matches at the 2024 Copa America before turning to Gustavo Alfaro as we look again at some of this dynamic USA attacking play.
Yeah, I mean, I thought Pulisic here, just a little bit of space and he was gone. And then Kenny could have taken it himself. He looked for his striker. Bobadilla can't quite move his feet quickly enough. Inadvertently turns it into his own net, but it was the great play by USA that opened the Paraguayan defence.
Players fully hydrated. I think you would say that 3-minute hydration break came at a good time for Paraguay. Interesting to see if the USA can pick up the rhythm that they've shown so far. Pulisic, as we've mentioned, has been prominent. Balogun has read the line really well. Bill Gates, one of the interested spectators, so many famous names here today. Good run by Robinson to open up the space. Here's McKennie. And it's in! For The assistant's flag is up. It looked a tight one.
Well, I just wonder whether it was Pulisic on that far side as it got flashed through. Yeah, I think he was just strayed. Didn't think he was involved in the play when it came through. Sure, that might be what they're looking at. Or even Balogun as well, as Tyler Adams just passed it through to him. Balogun, I think it was in the end, that was just offside. It's a shame because he took it well.
Emphasising just how sharp he's been for Monaco in the second half of the season, Balogun. No need, of course, for our Dutch referee, Danny Macaulay, to come to the review area. Offside decisions, of course, are factual. Side have not yet been able to fully integrate Enciso and Almiron into the match. Sanabria has been starved of service up to now. Bobadilla being closely marked there by Balogun. Bobadilla again, who has to get the ball away smartly once more. Gustavo Gomez in for Enciso. Adams to Robinson.
And I think they're a little bit better than that, Paraguay, than just hitting that forwards early. I think they've got technical players. They've got to believe in themselves a little bit more, I think.
And they're stretched down the right side of the defence again. Should be two. And it is two. And this time, no one is going to take the goal away from Folarin Balogun. The thrill of a lifetime for this popular USA striker. And Paraguay are in deep, deep trouble.
Well, we wondered about USA's top players and their top man, Pulisic. Oh, he's delivered. It's a brilliant run. It's a superb pass as well into his striker. And you can just see the calmness, the composure from Balogun, making absolutely sure with that side foot, keeping it low. Past Alderete. And Gil in the goal. What a moment for him. He'll always remember.
That's a sign of a striker in top form. It's a chance that he would expect to take. But when the heat is on, when the moment is as big as this one, he was ice cool.
And Pulisic, he's just been too quick. Just that pace he's got and clever running. Too much at the moment.
Cáceres is being given quite an examination in the right back position for Paraguay. He's going to need some reinforcements in front of him. Otherwise, the USA could run rampant here today. The chant of USA, USA rings around the Los Angeles Stadium. McKennie. Freeman. Weston McKennie again, a player they call the Swiss Army knife for his versatility. He played just about any position. There's Robinson offering that width again. And there is Pulisic in support. Now Tillman. Robinson. Good offer here from McKennie.
He's got that intelligence, Weston McKennie, that when he spots one of his teammates just drifting out, as Pulisic did there, he can see that space, he goes driving into it from that midfield area. So difficult defensively when you feel like you've got your man and then suddenly there's an extra man there near you, which one to pick up. He's one of those that's causing problems as well and opening up the space, I think, for Pulisic and the rest.
Pace of the USA players just too hot to handle at the moment for Paraguay. Must survive these moments. But they're on the back foot again. And Almiron needs to be careful in this position. And did well, stayed calm. Dest. Tremendous balance and feet there from Serginho Dest. Robinson. Pulisic. Good-looking cross, just too high for Balogun. Freeman. Dest. Early ball in. Dealt with rather better by the Paraguay defence, that cross. Can't get out, Paraguay. It was a good challenge. It was well timed on Pulisic.
Yeah, it feels pretty relentless at the moment, doesn't it, for Paraguay? USA outstanding in this first half. Pulisic again. Caceres can't be left 1v1. He can't handle Pulisic. We talked about it before. Diego Gomez maybe not used to playing out on the right. Better suited centrally. Caceres has to speak to him, has to get him back to help.
Before today, Paraguay hadn't conceded more than one goal in any of their last 10 World Cup matches. Spain, the last to score more than once against them. 3-1 group stage win back in 2002. Here's McKennie. Relentless USA attacking. It's Tillman. Flicks away and out for the corner. Off Cubas.
Well, they're getting so much joy in wide areas. USA with the overloads. Dest, Freeman, Robinson, Pulisic all combining, and then midfield players going out as well. Tillman it was that had the strike in the end.
Well, it's the statement of the obvious, but Paraguay cannot afford to ship another before half-time. Oh, and they nearly did. It was Richards with the cutest of headers. And if that's inside the post, I'm not sure the goalkeeper heel is getting there.
Oh, the delivery was so good, the pace so close to directing that into the corner. Heel is across, might be getting that if it's inside the post, but Richards does ever so well to get that header away.
Well, when Pochettino put his head on the pillow last night and dreamed of the ideal first half of the first game at the World Cup for his side, this is just about it, isn't it?
Of course, of course. I mean, I'm sure he would know that they've got the abilities. Rob Lowe there. Actor. Fantastic. He'll be enjoying this USA display, as will Pochettino. I think he will understand the qualities that his team have. What he can't quite measure is whether they can handle the pressure, especially being one of the hosts. I think that's the unknown. I think he's got a good idea already.
Dest. Almiron with the interception. These are the moments when they've got to try and retain possession, but with and without the ball, the USA are very good today, not allowing the Paraguayans much time to dwell in possession. Just to underline the historic strength of Paraguay teams, either in qualification or actually in the World Cup finals. They only conceded 2 goals in their 5 matches in their last appearance on football's biggest stage back in 2010. 2 already here in Los Angeles. Bobadilla's own goal, and the second for the USA from Folarin Balogun. He's gone down nursing a knock here.
He's been sharp, Balogun. Paused slightly. Cubas.
USA in behind the defence again with the effervescent Dest. Time and time again, and they're getting into dangerous areas.
Well, of course, we can talk about the tactical awareness of players and their managers, strengths and weaknesses, but ultimately it's been the running power of USA, the pace that they've had from their attacking players. Paraguay just haven't been able to cope.
The opening match in Group D, 48 nations in the newly expanded FIFA World Cup here in the USA, Canada and Mexico 2026. Top 2 from each of the 12 groups will go through automatically to the knockout stage, along with the 8 best third-place teams. Pulisic climbing into the back of the opponent there. I've not had an attempt at the USA goal since the 14th minute. A scuffed shot from Enciso. Matt Fries has been a virtual spectator since the opening seconds, really, when he had to deal with a difficult cross. Here's Dest. Looks ideally suited to this more advanced role. He's a real threat. Support from McKennie. And a shot in. Blocked by Heel. was very close to 3. Freeman. Back to Ream. Malik Tillman, who went close to the USA's 3rd goal in that latest attack.
Again, though, running off the ball from midfield. Can't underestimate how important running off the ball is. Unselfish running into space that might open up more space for teammates. USA have done it brilliantly.
Robinson. Tillman crowded out. Stayed strong. Looked for the free kick. Doesn't get it. The counter-attack may be on here for Paraguay. Well, Richards was aware of that, so happy to provide the foul. Leonardo DiCaprio, amongst the many celebrities and stars in the city of stars, Los Angeles. Hollywood royalty is in attendance. I'm not talking about my co-commentator today. Oh, it's awkward for Ream. Made a good job of it,
Didn't he? Been excellent, actually. Not only defensively alongside Richards, but actually with the ball. Tim Ream has been brilliant with his distribution.
We're into a minimum of 5 additional minutes at the end of the first half. 3 of those taken up by the hydration break. Robinson. Should be easy for Heel. Well, 2-0, it's no exaggeration to say it could be 4 for the USA at this stage. Alderete. And Ciso. There's that pressure I was talking about. Has gone the way of Paraguay for the throw, but Almiron was swamped. He's got an important half-time dressing room talk to administer shortly. Alfaro. Almiron over the set piece. First opportunity, really, from a free kick at least. Katy Perry, who was involved in the opening ceremony. First opportunity from a free kick to get the likes of Gomez and Alderete forward. And Fries in charge.
Yeah, it feels like a waste, doesn't it, when you've been so useful from set plays to just give that back to USA.
Lovely pass into the path here of McKennie. Looks for a teammate. There was nobody there to hit as he turned out. And USA throw.
He's a very unselfish player. Weston McKennie felt that was maybe his opportunity to strike rather than look for a teammate.
Freeman. There's that ball again. They had so much good fortune from Dest. But the measure of Paraguay's quality was shown in qualifying. Included a 1-0 win against Brazil, 2-1 against Argentina, 2-0 against Uruguay. They came from behind twice at extreme altitude against Bolivia to draw. But they're under pressure, huge pressure! Sensational! Following Balogun with the most convincing of finishes. And the Paraguay fans crestfallen. Looking around, shell-shocked. Balogun helps himself to a second, and the USA's third.
And this is just simple. Tillman finds the gap between fullback and centre-back. Alderete tries with the slide tackle. He has to make it, because once Balogun gets into this position, he's calm. Oh, and he finds that top corner. He really does. When you're confident, these just come naturally, as you can see, curling into the top corner.
And fulsome evidence of a two-footed striker in hot form. It was the last action of the first half, and the inquest has already started on the pitch for Paraguay. The USA make to their half-time dressing room elated with a wonderful first-half performance. 2 for Balogun, Bobadilla's early own goal. 3-0 Paraguay at the break.
And the score at halftime is United States of America.
Just incredible. When you think how defensively solid Paraguay have been in qualification under Gustavo Alfaro, the way they have been carved open by the USA has been quite outstanding in terms of attacking play. They just haven't been able to cope with the pace of USA, but also the ability they've shown in the build-up and in the finishing from Balogun. Both so calm, so composed, showing his quality and the type of player he is now. Couldn't have asked for more USA from their first half of football at this World Cup.
Whether it's been in the wide areas or down the middle, they've found the gap, the spaces.
Carlos, ¿qué decir después de este primer tiempo? Bueno, lamentablemente.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Pemirsa TPRI di seluruh Nusantara, jangan lewatkan untuk menyaksikan Piala Dunia FIFA World Cup 2026. Gratis hanya di layar TPRI Nasional dan TPRI Sport 11 Juni sampai dengan 19 Juli 2026. Nantikan keseruan pertandingan-pertandingan laga sepak bola terbesar dari 48 negara. Yuk saksikan euforia Piala Dunia bersama keluarga Anda. Salam bola gembira. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
ke Mangga 2 beli sepatu, pilihnya yang warna biru. Kalau ngerti bola satu-satu, mari kita tes ilmu. Iya. Ini Neng ya, boleh tanya kan? Ini nih, bentar lagi kan ada Piala Dunia nih. Abang mau tanya-tanya nih kepada Neng nih. Boleh? Benar? Benar? Boleh? Oke, gini. Dalam sepak bola, berapa orang dalam satu tim?
11.
Dalam satu tim.
11.
Ini?
Satu orang.
Satu tim.
11.
Oke, 11 orang nih ya. Nih, ada lagi, satu lagi, dua lagi dah. Arti warna kartu kuning dan merah di sepak bola itu apa?
Oh, kartu kuning hati-hati.
Hati-hati.
Pelanggaran.
Oke.
Pelanggaran. Sudah berhenti dulu.
Kalau merah?
Kartu merah pelanggaran.
Kuning?
Kalau kuning sudah berhenti dulu.
Berhenti ngapain?
Sudah berhenti main bola.
Ya pemirsa, baru saja Anda menyaksikan pertandingan di babak yang pertama laga antara Amerika Serikat menghadapi Paraguay, di mana kita bisa melihat begitu luar biasa Amerika Serikat mendominasi pertandingan dengan 3 gol yang dipersembahkan di babak pertama. Bung Harpa, komentar Anda.
Ya, start yang sangat luar biasa, 3 gol tercipta di babak pertama dan mereka tidak kebobolan. Artinya kalau kita bandingkan dengan beberapa pertandingan di menjelang Piala Dunia yang banyak meragukan Amerika Serikat, tapi kita lihat tampaknya Pochettino melakukan PR-nya dengan sangat baik ya. Bagaimana dia memanfaatkan juga keunggulan materi, keunggulan kekuatan mereka dengan menaikkan garis pertahanan, menekan habis-habisan sisi sayap mereka, dan kita lihat tadi beberapa kali serangan banyak ditumpukan di sisi sayap dari Paraguay ya, dan bahkan gol kedua pun kita lihat bagaimana duel yang sangat luar biasa dari Balogun dan juga pemain belakang mereka, back yang juga sekaligus kapten mereka, back kiri mereka Gustavo Gomez, dan kemudian diakhiri dengan tendangan dengan curve dengan kaki kiri melengkapi keunggulan di babak yang pertama ya, dari gol bunuh diri ya, dan ini saya koreksi 2-0 ya, 2-0 di babak yang pertama. Saya pikir sangat positif ya, bisa mereka memenangkan laga ini.
Oke, ini dia momen-momen dan juga gol yang tercipta di 45 menit pertama, di mana gol bersarang ke gawang Paraguay dengan gol bunuh diri yang dilakukan oleh Bobadilla, membuat Amerika bisa unggul dengan menciptakan gol cepat di awal babak yang pertama.
Ya, dan peran Christian Pulisic begitu besar di babak pertama tadi dengan 2 big creative chance, dan juga total ada 4 creative chances yang bisa didapatkan oleh Amerika melalui sosok pemain yang juga tampil apik bersama AC Milan ini. Sempat ada satu balasan serangan melalui aksi Juan Enciso, tapi memang sepakannya sayang sekali bisa diantisipasi dengan baik, dan ini menjadi pemain yang paling mengancam dari Paraguay sepanjang babak pertama. Sayangnya tidak ada pemain lain yang bisa memberikan ancaman berat. Sedangkan ini dia aksi yang juga luar biasa, namun sayang Seguinhones melakukan upaya dengan first touch yang tidak maksimal sehingga membuat penyelesaian juga sulit untuk bisa mendapatkan gol kedua setelah gol bunuh diri yang dicetak oleh Damian Bobadilla tadi.
Ya, tentunya dengan 3 gol ya yang tercipta di bawah yang pertama, Amerika Serikat unggul 3-0, ini tentunya membuat dinamika yang seperti kita singgung di awal ini tentu menjadi menarik ya. Artinya Amerika Serikat dalam posisi untuk mencoba mengamankan keunggulan di babak yang kedua. Apakah kemudian Pochettino berani langsung melakukan pergantian pemain? Sebaliknya juga Paraguay kita lihat tadi cukup panik setelah tertinggal atau kalah 3-0 di babak yang pertama. Miguel Almiron dan kawan-kawan tadi mencoba untuk melakukan regrouping, kemudian mengatakan sesuatu yang tentunya kita nggak tahu, tapi saya rasa dia mencoba untuk memberikan semangat. Dan di babak yang kedua saya pikir tidak ada lain bagi pasukan Gustavo Alfaro untuk bisa memaksimalkan sisa 45 menit dengan lebih keluar menyerang.
Ya, bahkan ini sebelum gol dari Balogun tadi sudah ada gol yang dianulir lebih dahulu, tapi memang ia bisa membayar dengan gol pertamanya di World Cup 2026. Kita saksikan ini adalah salah satu aksi yang luar biasa, kombinasi antara Anthony Robinson, Pulisic yang memberikan assist dan diselesaikan dengan sangat apik oleh Balogun. pemain yang mendapatkan total 6 sentuhan di dalam kotak penalti dan 2 diantaranya bisa menjadi shot on target yang berujung gol bagi Amerika, Justin.
Iya, Christian Pulisic menjadi tumpuan yang begitu bagus ya bagi Amerika Serikat, menjadi kreator yang begitu luar biasa, memberikan assist tadi kepada sang pencetak gol, yaitu gol-gol, dan juga ini kita sambil melihat beberapa peluang tadi dari Amerika Serikat.
Ya,
ini dari
Chris Richard ya, ini dari pemain yang membela Crystal Palace juga, dan sebenarnya kalau kita lihat dari XG atau peluang yang mereka dapatkan memang sangat banyak ya. Jadi di luar shot on goal yang tercipta, termasuk ini gol penutup dari Balogun yang membuat mereka turun dalam keadaan unggul 3-0, tapi juga memang efektif serangan. Jadi bukan hanya menguasai pertandingan, bukan hanya menguasai ball position, tapi juga mereka sangat efektif dan memang sedikit di luar dugaan ya. Paraguay terlalu mudah dibobol. Kalau kita lihat rekornya di kualifikasi ini kan memang mereka sulit dikalahkan atau dijebol, tapi kita lihat dalam 45 menit mereka sudah kebobolan 3 kali.
Ya, benar-benar satu penampilan dengan atraksi attacking dynamic football yang ditampilkan oleh Pochettino, benar-benar bisa merusak skema pertahanan dari Gustavo Alvaro. Dan kalau kita melihat juga attacking dynamic football ini ditambah dengan transisi yang sangat cepat. Di sisi kiri khususnya Anthony Robinson, Pulisic bermain begitu apik, dan di depan ada penyambung seperti McKennie dan juga Malik Tillman yang juga tampil apik dengan 2 creative chances-nya. Jadi memang penampilan dari Paraguay benar-benar membuat Amerika sangat nyaman dan bahkan membuat mereka over expected XG, karena XG-nya hanya 0,80 tapi bisa mencetak gol. Ini di luar kebiasaan dan saya rasa sangat efektif permainannya.
Ya, Amerika Serikat berhasil unggul 3 gol dan bukan hanya itu, mereka juga tampil dominan sepanjang pertandingan babak yang pertama. Langsung saja kita menyaksikan statistik di 45 menit yang pertama. Ya, 54-37%, sementara tembakan yang dilakukan adalah 7-2, on target 4-1, dan memang secara keseluruhan Amerika unggul atas Paraguay.
Ya, total attempts-nya kita melihat bagaimana ada sekitar 11 ya attempts dari Amerika, sedangkan Paraguay hanya 3. Dan yang luar biasanya lagi, kolektif football Pochettino ini membuat Paraguay hanya mendapatkan 2 sentuhan saja di dalam kotak penalti Amerika. Ini menjadi jumlah paling sedikit sejauh ini ketika permainan di sepanjang babak pertama.
Ya, dan kita lihat statistik tadi membold atau menebalkan apa yang kita sampaikan ya, XG-nya hampir 1. Jadi attempts-nya on target mungkin 4 ya, tapi 3 peluang atau percobaan tembakan ini sangat tipis biasanya. Itu yang membuat XG mereka sangat tinggi, dan juga kita lihat bagaimana ball recovery time-nya juga lebih sedikit atau lebih cepat ya. Dan di sisi lain penguasaan bola yang sebenarnya nggak terlalu timpang, walaupun memang Amerika Serikat unggul 54 banding 57, tapi yang saya katakan tadi, mereka bisa memanfaatkan ball position dengan baik. 54% ini dengan menciptakan 7 tembakan dan 4 diantaranya ke arah gawang dan 3 menjadi gol.
Ya, dan memang Paraguay pun dipersulit oleh bagaimana permainan mereka yang cukup pasif di area pertahanan. Bahkan kalau kita melihat tidak ada cover yang berjalan, sisi dari Juan Caceres di sisi kanan pertahanan benar-benar diekspos oleh lini kiri serangan dari Amerika. Ditambah juga dan Diego Gomez yang juga menjadi winger kanan di Paraguay tidak banyak membantu pertahanan bagi Paraguay, sehingga membuat mereka mudah untuk ditembus, Jasmine.
Iya, dan juga kalau kita melihat tadi ya, expected goals dari Paraguay begitu sedikit, hanya 0,13. Kira-kira mungkin yang menjadi masalah apakah dari skema build up yang tidak jadi, atau mungkin kualitas di sepertiga akhir, atau mungkin seperti apa, Bung Harpa? Ya,
menurut saya kekalahan situasional ya, artinya selama 45 menit mereka benar-benar dikurung habis-habisan, digencet habis-habisan oleh Amerika Serikat, dan tadi sudah dikatakan oleh Bung Ibam, di sentuhan di kotak penalti aja hanya 2 kali ya. Jadi bagaimana mereka mau menciptakan peluang? Jangankan menciptakan peluang, keluar dari area mereka saja sulit. Bahkan di akhir-akhir kita lihat ada sebuah build up serangan yang langsung di sepertiga dipotong, kemudian langsung diberikan tekanan. Jadi memang tidak banyak yang bisa dilakukan oleh Paraguay. Tinggal strateginya ini seperti apa. Kalau Amerika Serikat mereka di locker room mungkin lebih rileks ya. Tapi Paraguay ini seperti apa? Apakah mereka mau mencoba untuk memperkecil kedudukan dengan resiko kebobolan, atau mereka mau main aman lagi nih? Karena kalau mereka kebobolan banyak juga kan, kalau mereka terlalu menyerang, keasikan menyerang, ini nanti akan berpengaruh pada selisih gol ketika mereka ingin mencoba lolos dari fase grup.
Torehan minim kebobolan yang dimiliki oleh Paraguay di babak kualifikasi seakan runtuh pada pagi hari ini dengan kebobolan 3 gol di 45 menit pertama. Apa yang bisa dilakukan oleh Gustavo Alvaro? Kita bahas lagi. Tetap bersama kami hanya di FIFA World Cup 2026.
Salam olahraga. Saya Menteri Pemuda dan Olahraga Republik Indonesia menyambut baik TVRI sebagai pemegang hak siar resmi Piala Dunia 2026. Apresiasi kepada Bapak Presiden dan TVRI yang telah memberikan kebahagiaan kepada masyarakat di seluruh Indonesia hingga pelosok Nusantara. Dukungan pemerintah akan terus berlanjut bagi keberadaan stasiun LPP TVRI. Jangan lewatkan momen terbesar tahun ini. Nonton bareng Piala Dunia FIFA World Cup 2020 hanya di layar TVRI Nasional dan TVRI Sport mulai 11 Juni sampai 19 Juli. Salam bola gembira Piala Dunia 2026. Salam olahraga.
Penggemar bola kan? Mantap. Iya siap. Nih ada 3 pertanyaan. Pertanyaan pertama nih Kang ya. Negara mana yang pertama kali menyelenggarakan Piala Dunia?
Tolong buat, aduh astaga. Kalau nggak salah sih Kanada ya.
Oke.
Amerika. Brazil.
Negara mana teh?
Kanada.
Kanada. Mantap. Jadi sekarang boleh nih. Kita ngambil. Siap. Kita ambil satu nih Kang ya. Oke.
Ya pemirsa, 3 gol di babak yang pertama membuat Amerika Serikat unggul atas Paraguay. Tentunya dominasi tadi kita sudah lihat dilakukan oleh Amerika secara keseluruhan, dari ball possession, dari shots on target, dari tendangan, semuanya didominasi oleh Amerika. Mungkin sedikit perbaikan yang bisa dilakukan oleh Paraguay di babak yang kedua, Bung Harpa?
Iya, ini yang saya katakan tadi ya, serba salah juga ya, maju kena, mundur kena. Mau nyerang juga nanti malah takutnya kena counter dan bayangkan kalau mereka terlalu kasihkan kemudian kalahnya lebih dari 3-0, ini bukan tidak mungkin akan memukul juga mental Gustavo Gomez dan kawan-kawan. Tapi kalau mereka mau bertahan juga mau ngapain, mereka udah kalah 3-0, jadi menurut perkiraan saya mereka ya mau nggak mau akan lebih keluar menyerang. Tapi apakah kemudian perubahan strategi ini juga diikuti oleh komposisi atau perubahan pemain, ini yang menarik kita tunggu ya, karena kalau kita lihat masih ada beberapa nama di barisan depan yang mungkin saja bisa diturunkan. Ada Gabriel Avalos dan juga Alex Arce, ini yang jumlah nama yang bukan tidak mungkin akan dimasukkan langsung di babak yang kedua awal oleh Gustavo Alvaro.
Ya, mungkin dari Ibam ada tambahan sedikit, apakah mungkin yang akan dilakukan oleh Amerika Serikat untuk mempertahankan posisinya nanti?
Ya, Sasa, dengan karakter bagaimana pecinta olahraga di Amerika yang sangat menyenangkan dengan adanya high scoring match, nampaknya Pochettino tidak benar-benar puas dengan keunggulan 3 gol ini. Nampaknya akan ada upaya cetak gol tambahan, apalagi dengan sudah memasukkan beberapa nama, termasuk Maurice yang sudah disiapkan. Ini adalah Aronson juga sudah berada di atas lapangan. Jadi memang saya rasa tugas berat bagi Paraguay untuk mendapatkan karakter dan visi yang jelas di babak kedua. Apakah mereka ingin pragmatis ataupun memang keluar menekan? Karena benar tadi, peluang untuk menjadi peringkat ketiga terbaik akan melibatkan detail-detail kecil.
Iya, kita lihat sudah langsung ada pergantian pemain ya dari kubu Paraguay. Mauricio dimasukkan, menggantikan Juan Jose Caceres di bek kanan, jadi agak lebih menyerang. Jadi satu bek di pemain belakang digantikan pemain tengah. Sementara di Amerika Serikat juga kita lihat ada pergantian pemain ya. Ya tentunya ini membuat
nampaknya Sebastian Bahleter ya.
Iya.
Iya, oke, baiklah pemirsa dimanapun Anda berada, inilah kick off pertandingan babak kedua antara Amerika Serikat versus Paraguay. Selamat menyaksikan.
The change of pace made at half time.
Well, of course, the non-re-emergence of Christian Pulisic has to worry USA fans slightly. He may have picked something up in that first half or feels some kind of discomfort. Holter coming in, will go into that midfield area. Tillman actually will go out to the left. No surprise to see a change in midfield for Paraguay, which I think is the area they've really struggled with been totally overrun and allowed runners from midfield to cause their backline problems.
Sebastian Berhalter of Vancouver Whitecaps, replacing Pulisic. Berhalter is the son of former USA coach Greg. Cáceres, who was given a rather torrid first half in that right-back position. Tillman forward to take the USA throw. Plays in Germany with Bayer Leverkusen. Born in Germany to an American father, German mother.
I think with that change, Mauricio going out to the left, Almer on the right, and Diego Gomez going into midfield, which is his favoured position. Didn't look right, did it on the right-hand side. He wasn't giving Cáceres the support he needed.
Enciso did well to evade the challenges there. Almiron hungry for the ball. Here he is. Cáceres in support. Poor clearance. Almiron with a shot. Didn't carry any sting. Balogun felt he was being blocked off there, and the referee agrees. Gustavo Gomez, the Paraguay captain, furious about that, but the referee said he had too much of a hold here on Balogun, and the referee was right.
He was. He had a lot more of Balogun's shirt than he had of his. I think that was his complaint, though. Balogun did have some of his shirt as well.
That's a poor pass. And allows Paraguay a cheap attempt to get forward. And Diego Gomez looking for that top corner. Took a slight deflection on the way. Paraguay corner, their first of the match.
Yeah, that'll upset Pochettino. Just that lack of concentration. Giving a bit of confidence to Paraguay. Diego Gomez darting onto it, trying to get that shot away. Tim Ream coming across to deflect it over.
Showed a lot of strength from set pieces, corner kicks in particular in qualifying. Can they find one here? Shots on. USA just for a moment wondering where that loose ball was, and eventually able to clear their lines. Cáceres. Almiron. Goes down under the challenge. The assistant referee for a moment just hesitated before raising the flag. The referee looked to his colleague, and the yellow card is flourished.
Yeah, I think maybe just exposing Tim Ream's weakness, just in terms of 1v1. There wasn't really much contact. Almiron goes down clutching the ankle. Referee Michele felt there was enough there.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, famous basketball player, picked out in the crowd here at the awesome Los Angeles Stadium. Now Paraguay have had a good start to the second half here. And Enciso's free kick. Referees whistling evidence here. Been told to stop the game, Danny McAlee. Carlos Del Cerro Grande, the head of VAR, the Spaniard, is having a check over mistaken identity. Over an earlier decision. Just explaining to Tim Ream and Almiron about that tussle that they had. And the referee is coming towards the touchline here and his review area to have a look at this one again. Well, you said at the time that there wasn't a great deal of contact, if any, on Almiron. Went down in stages, didn't he? Danny McAlee has got a yellow card, yes. And it's simulation, and the yellow card goes to Miguel Almiron. Tim Ream's yellow card is wiped away. Almiron gets the booking.
Well, clearly, the referee, the officials didn't want the advantage of the possibility to score from that set play. Reviewed that challenge. Saw that there wasn't any contact, therefore Tim Ream shouldn't have had the yellow card. Miguel Almiron receives his.
Paraguay have already had twice as many attempts in their second half, and they managed in the whole of the first. The next Group D match for the USA is a week today in Seattle against Australia. Their final group game will be here again in LA against Turkey on June 25th. As for Paraguay, they go to Santa Clara in the San Francisco Bay Area as a poor clearance by Heel. Tillman can't set up the pass. And a nervy moment for Orlando Heel in the Paraguay goal. Paraguay's last group game, by the way, is against Australia on June 25th.
We would have expected some kind of response, and with the change in midfield also by Gustavo Alfaro, he's seen that from his side. Still a long way back.
Was a risky challenge there. The referee had a very good view of it and decided that Balogun was looking for the penalty. There was not enough in the challenge for the referee to hand him a penalty here.
No, it's good centre-forward play, backing in and looking to roll. Well, there's too much of Balogun throwing himself to the floor rather than there being enough contact there. Superb refereeing of knowing when a player is trying to create it rather than it actually happening from the defender.
Ferocious hunting down there from the USA in packs. Very effective once more. McKennie. free kick. The late challenge on Tyler Adams.
But the work rate from USA, truly outstanding. Just not allowed Paraguay to have a sustained period of momentum in the game. USA working together to win that back, and then a bit of frustration showed in the challenge on Tyler Adams.
Enciso, lucky to get that through to Almiron. Tillman finding Robinson. He does well to find the space. Anthony Robinson. The attack stays alive here. And Tillman's shot blocked at source. Paris Hilton. As we continue our search for the celebrities, don't have to work hard for it in truth. (7:20 in the evening, local time in Los Angeles, where the heat of the day is very much ebbed away, and I'm getting a blast of aircon in the commentary position at the moment, down there for the players whose conditions are ideal. There are 3 open sides to this vast bowl of a stadium, which allows fresh air in. And it's a USA corner.
Almost every time they go down either side, Eugenio Dest, Anthony Robinson, they have been brilliant, shown their pace, their willingness to get down the sides, and then one of the biggest strengths that they've shown today, USA, is that they've got bodies in the box, players in the box.
Anthony Robinson's corner. Yellow card issued here to Tyler Adams. Has to be somewhat circumspect now. The tigerish USA midfielder in there to win his challenges, but late there.
I've been impressed with, because of that aggressive press that we know USA can play with. Paraguay haven't very often been able to get it into their technically gifted players. Diego Gomez, Julio Enciso, Almiron, not been able to get into the game because they've not been allowed to. Not even got to them.
But all the technical talent on display for the USA have been prominent. Tillman rolled in nicely to Balogun, and then the effort from the on-rushing Tillman coming under pressure. Couldn't find any accuracy in the shot. He's injured himself in the process.
Yeah, slightly fortunate the way it came back to him. Gustavo Gomez stepping in, just doing enough to put him off, but definitely followed through slightly on Tillman as he took the strike.
Yes.
You'd want your defender to at least be able to challenge when someone's about to strike a goal.
Fortunately for Gomez, Tillman had got the shot away before the contact came. I'm sure one of the messages from Mauricio Pochettino at half-time was to not drop the intensity. It can happen when you have such a good first half, and they dealt with what Paraguay could show in the early minutes of the second half, and now we're getting back to more of the familiar pattern of the first. It's been a difficult day for Antonio Sanabria of Cremonese in Italy as he makes way. Paraguay's top scorer in qualifying with 4 goals, Sanabria. And in his place comes Alex Arce. Paraguay still awaiting their first attempt on target. Perhaps Arce can provide. He's had a good season with his club Independiente. And they're really switched off at the back, Paraguay, and they might yet still pay a price for it. USA is so quick in their thinking. Complete opposite Paraguay. They switch off at their peril here against the USA in this form.
Well, it becomes mental fatigue, doesn't it? Because you feel like you've got so many players to contend with as a defender.
Tom Cruise and Sir David Beckham. Tremendous play. And the flag stays down. And has this move got to finish? Not quite. Cáceres. Diego Gomez. Almiron. Beginning to find a little bit of possession now, really taking them to within sight of Matt Fries's goal, and the net away to our right.
Well, a bit like the temperature. Oh, it's lovely from Enciso.
Now, can he provide another bit of trickery here to maybe go all the way himself? And the shot high and wide. Entitled to take it on, though.
It was played back to Enciso, brilliant on that left-hand side, just trying to get a shot away, blocked. And as it then came out towards Diego Gomez, looking to put power through that. Not the direction or the balance, really, in the strike. But a bit like the temperatures, USA's press has just cooled off, and it's just allowing Paraguay a bit of an opportunity to get the ball to their talented attackers.
I think that gentleman who caught Diego Gomez's shot was a feature in baseball for him. Excellent take. USA, of course, hosting the World Cup for the second time. When they did so in 1994, it led to the creation of Major League Soccer. And a successful tournament for them here will further enhance the game of soccer as they know it here and gain extra visibility in a nation that really still counts its traditional sports as American football, basketball and baseball. still, those 3 first-half goals, the difference. They've timed those forward runs really well today, the United States. There's definitely signs of improvement. Pochettino spoke about it yesterday in the press conference. He said they were coming in well prepared, confident, and we've certainly seen that come to fruition so far in this Group D match. They beat Senegal at the end of May 3-2, and I mentioned earlier, lost only narrowly in their last pre-tournament warm-up game against Germany. 2-1 the scoreline, but the USA were excellent on the day. They might easily have got a favourable result. Well timed by Richards. Reached a hydration break in the second half, so we'll have a 3-minute halt to proceedings.
Well, just a mentality change, I think, for USA. All the hard work's been done, you feel. So it's about managing this second half. I think they've done it well. Of course, you're going to concede a bit of possession to Paraguay as you start to see the game out, but they've looked comfortable. Paraguay haven't quite recovered, have they, from that first half, where I think even they were shocked at just how intense USA were, but also probably the quality they showed in attack.
Mauricio Pochettino called his job with the USA when he took over a massive challenge, bigger challenge than he and his staff thought before they started, but one they were keen to embrace. Says the potential in this country in soccer or football is massive. The growth of the game in the country, the youth teams growing and competing. He says the future is very exciting. And they have excited their loyal fans so far today. If Paraguay are to lose, and you would say it's a very big possibility at this stage, then they still, of course, have time to recover. There will be an extra round at this World Cup in the newly expanded 48 teams. Normally, in the past, we've gone straight from the group stage to the last 16, but there will be a round of 32. Enough time for Paraguay to recover. Can they recover 3 goals here? Fanciful to think in the time that remains. We've got about a quarter of the match to go. Balogun has hit the ground running. It's what all strikers wish to do, particularly in a World Cup.
I mean, again, a dream for him has been realised. Another one could still be realised in this game while he's still on the pitch. Possibility of getting that hat-trick.
So back underway with a Paraguay throw. Had no joy with the long throws so far. Caceres who provides them. "20 minutes to go plus stoppage time." Alonso is providing that latest long throw. Same result. USA defended calmly. But Caceres is penalised.
Yeah, he just really barges into the back of Tillman. He just spotted that rather than challenging for the ball. Obviously, natural frustration really setting in for Paraguay as Balogun looks like he's got an issue.
Double change for the United States in the shape of Ricardo Pepi and Timothy Weah. And the end for Balogun, who just looks as though he's limping a little bit as he makes his way towards the touchline. So a change up top from Pochettino. Lost his captain Pulisic at half-time. Dest is the other player to make way. And a big roar as the two newcomers arrive. Timothy Weah of Juventus, son of the great George. He was the Ballon d'Or winner back in 1995. Liberian international, his father. His son represents the USA, and Ricardo Pepi, who's had a very good season with the Eredivisie champions PSV Eindhoven, 19 goals in that league just concluded. So they've got the goals throughout the squad, haven't they?
Yeah, and they've got depth, I think, which is really important, and something maybe USA haven't had in previous World Cups. They are to go far in this competition, and they might have to call upon that depth.
Almiron doing well, and they've set themselves up nicely and scored. And it's the substitute, Mauricio, who celebrates the first real incision in the entire game. Brings a smile to his face and to the Paraguay supporters inside the Los Angeles Stadium. 3-1.
Well, it comes from the goalkeeper's free kick, but when it falls to Enciso, he's got the picture in his mind. He lays it to Mauricio. It's a perfect weighted pass. The referee's view to Mauricio, who then just firmly, crisply side foots that into the corner. Maybe there's hope.
And that little shot from the referee view gives you a real close-up of just how fast the game of football is, how it moves at the speed it does, how quickly match officials, referees have to make their decisions. Often players crossing their path and they have to get it right, but Paraguay have got it horribly wrong here, and this is Tillman, can't finish, glorious chance.
That was too casual, it was far too casual from Tillman and Pepe. Between them, really that should have been the fourth goal.
The window of opportunity opens for Paraguay. Lovely turn from Tillman. Leaves Cáceres in his wake. Tries to niggle back. And the pass just unable to pick out the willing runner, Ricardo Pepi.
He's had a tough evening, Cáceres, hasn't he? That early yellow card. Well, it was Pulisic in the first half. Tillman in the second half has made it really difficult for him.
Robinson. Halter. Now Freeman. Reed. Richards. highest scoring game so far in this fledgling FIFA World Cup 2026. It saw one of the trio co-hosts, Mexico, get their tournament underway with a 2-0 win over South Africa in the opening game. Korea Republic defeated Czechia 2-1. And the other of the co-hosts, Canada, played out a 1-1 draw against Bosnia-Herzegovina. Tillman. Space opening up again. Flashes across. Goal. And very nearly troubled heel in the Paraguay goal.
With just a couple of extra touches, just gives him the space away from Alonso to get that strike, of which he does. It was a touch. An important touch by Orlando Gil.
VAR and a tweak of the rules can get involved in corners. Given correctly or incorrectly, there's been a number of little tweaks from the International Football Association board that decides the rules of the game. They gathered in Wales in February. A number of changes made, most of them focused on measures to reduce time wasting and speed up the game. And I think we all applaud that.
Yes, I think we've already seen it in the game so far in this World Cup. More time with the ball in play is good for me.
Players having 5 seconds to take throw-ins, for instance. Goalkeepers having a set amount of time to take goal kicks. Gustavo Gomez hot under the collar again. And for his protests, he is shown a yellow card. Strong ball carrier, isn't he? Tillman takes some knocking off the possession. Makes way for Paraguay. Velasquez is on. Answer is also off. And on comes Ramon Sosa. FIFA president. Government official Marco Rubio to his right there. Well, Alfaro said before this tournament got underway that he couldn't promise anything, but what he could promise that his squad would show guts and dedication to the task in hand, and they're showing that. And there's another Paraguay substitution is made. And on comes Alejandro Romero Gamara. And this is going to drop kindly for the USA. Rather than turn towards goal, they turned away from the target and allowed Paraguay to regroup. Tillman. He's taken well to that left-sided role since Pulisic went off at half-time.
They have just lacked a little bit of focus in their attacking play, USA, in this second half.
USA are thinking about another change, and it's going to be Giovanni Reina coming on for Malik Tillman. And the crowd rising to his performance. With and without the ball, he's been excellent. First to congratulate him, Coach Pochettino. So, Gio Reyna is on. His father, Claudio, will be proud. His dad won 112 caps for the USA, played in 2 World Cups, 2002, 2006. Gio Reyna on for his 39th senior cap. 2 substitute appearances for him 4 years ago in Qatar. And we've got under 8 minutes to go, plus stoppage time. It's a free kick.
Yeah, there's a shove. There is. It's so difficult to play against Enciso. You think you've got him, and then he just has that extra touch, extra bit of speed.
He's had his moments in this game. Enciso set up the goal for Mauricio. Now looks to deliver a quality free kick. It's a flag up for offside.
Just straight too soon. Gustavo Gomez. A little bit careful here. USA. Paraguay were to get a second goal, it wouldn't make for a comfortable ending.
Just confirming the substitution a moment ago by Paraguay, with Diego Gomez departing. Well timed by Richards. Showed no sign of the injury issue that made him a doubt for this opener. The speed in which the USA have won the ball back today has been astonishing at times. They've been ferocious in their hunt for the ball. Reina. Awkward clearance that for Orlando Heel. Enciso. Can he get onto a return pass? No. 38, Tim Ream, showing that he's still got a little bit of speed across the ground. USA's modus operandi at the moment is to just kill the game if they can, really. They're in an excellent position. We're inside the last 5 minutes of normal time. Just little free kicks given away like that from Ricardo Pepe. Just runs the clock down a little further.
Yeah, difficult to maintain the intensity that they had in the first half for the whole game. And just eased off, given Paraguay some hope.
Quiet word from the referee there to Arce.
Just turning his back. moving his body into that challenge, Tyler Adams, and I think the referee there just reminding Tyler Adams that if he was to go off, he would then have to wait a minute before coming on. So he jumped up and got on with the game.
Yes, another of the tweaks from IFAB back in February to substitutions. If a player is taken off and there's no injury, he has to get off in a certain amount of time. And if not, as was pointed out there, the player replacing has to wait a minute to come on. Richards. Good challenge. Referee Danny McAley in a great position to call that one, and that one too. Referee's been excellent today. It's been busy. And very experienced, of course. They all are. To officiate at a World Cup. Talk about it being special for the players. It's special for the officials too. Of that there's no doubt. Arte's picked up a yellow.
Again, it's just they've not lacked effort, Paraguay, and desire to try and win challenges.
Here's McKennie, and it's over the top. Well, they were getting ready to celebrate a fourth goal there, the USA fans.
Yeah, brilliant take from McKennie. Again, unselfish, plays it back to Pepe, who is claiming that it should have been a corner, as every good striker should do when you miss.
You've been there. USA trying to create a little bit of history here. They have never scored 4 goals in a World Cup match. Ciso. Cut out by Berhalter. Good starting position from goalkeeper Hill, but his clearance is not the best. And the attempt to lob in from Berhalter does not provide what the USA substitute hoped for there. Robinson in his usual energetic self in that left-back position. Defended well when he's had to and brings a lot to the attacking play too. The pulling player in England. That's a free kick for the USA. And we've got a minimum of 7 additional minutes. Pochettino just gesturing down there. I'm sure he was best pleased about the challenge on his player. Looking again at the previous onside decision that was given. Here's Robinson and Moore standing over this free kick. And it will be Anthony Robinson to deliver. In steps Reed. Robinson, lovely little give and go there. At full stretch to try and repel the United States, Paraguay. They do so for now. Robinson once more. Good pass from Weah. Robinson. Beerhalter climbing.
Well, talk about full of running in the 92nd minute. Anthony Robinson there.
He's certainly got an engine on him, hasn't he, Robinson? I think I might be checking how many lungs he's got. Might have 3. It's another yellow card. I don't think there was much doubt about this one.
You can see the strain on Junior Alonso's face. Tyler Adams goes past him. Robinson trying his best. Once again, Gustavo Gomez is there. He's had an excellent game. Gustavo Gomez has put in 3 or 4 outstanding challenges.
So confirmation of Junior Alonso's yellow. Just the second time the sides have met in the World Cup. That first occasion in 1930, 3-0 win for the USA. And an excellent start to the World Cup, even though Captain America, Christian Pulisic, only played the first half, but he played very, very well in that first half. Be interesting to see if there's any illness or injury which meant he didn't reappear for the second half. Can't think that Pochettino would be resting him for matches to come, but we'll get the full story in time, I've no doubt. Here's Robinson. Foul by Romero. There's still time for the USA to put the gloss on an excellent display with a 4th. 3 minutes of additional time minimum remaining. Gio Reyna stands over the free kick. Not been on long, but you can see the sweat already around his neck and his brow. This is looking very likely to be the 4th time that the USA have won their opening match at a World Cup. 3 previous occasions they've gone on to successfully get out of the group stage. And they will do so deservedly, of that there is no doubt. But full credit to Paraguay for their determination, their ability not to let heads drop. Alfaro wouldn't allow that is for sure. And they might end up actually winning this second half. Robinson looking for the ever-energetic McKennie. Alvarete's there to make the clearance.
Well, there's been numerous outstanding performances in the USA team. Very difficult to pick one individual out. Very easy maybe just to gloss over the match as a whole. Let's not forget how unbelievably good they were in that first half.
Here's Adams. Where this is a shot charge down. with Richards. Closing seconds now. Well, this is a nation where they sure know how to have a party, and it will be a long-lasting and happy affair, because one of the trio co-hosts have begun their World Cup with not just 3 points, but the display to go with it, and so much momentum going forward for Pochettino and his squad. Time for maybe one last USA attack. Where? Pepe. Freeman. This is Reina. Oh, yes! Gio Reina! History for the USA. For the first time, they score 4 goals in a World Cup match. And what a calm finish this was.
Talk about putting the seal on the victory. This is one for the archives. The outside of the right foot arcing away from heel. That is beautiful from Reina.
Well, if there's a way to round off a magnificent day for the United States of America, that was it. And the referee has brought the match to a conclusion. They scored in the final kick of the first half. They've scored with the final kick from Gio Reina in the second half. And they have handsomely seen off Paraguay here in the opening match in Group D in Los Angeles. USA 4, Paraguay 1. Gustavo Alfaro.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera untuk kita semua. Pemirsa TVRI di seluruh Nusantara dan bagi seluruh pencinta sepak bola di dunia dan di Indonesia. Segera kita akan menyaksikan momen pertandingan sepak bola dunia FIFA World Cup 2026 melalui
أشتفي من كل داء ونوره دليل لقلبي عند جهل وحيرتي فيا ربي متعني بسر حروفه ونوّر به قلبي وسمعي ومقلتي وهب لي به فتحا وعلما وحكمة وأنس بي يا ربي في القبر وحشتي وصلي وسلم كل يوم وليلة صلة على من به الرحمن يقبل دعواتي وآل وأصحاب كرام أئمتي بهم يغفر الغفار ذنبي وزلتي.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Ya ayyuhalladzina amanu la yaskhar qaumun min qaumin asa ayyakunu khairam minhum wala nisa'um min nisa'in asa ayyakunna khairam minhum. Ya ayyuhalladzina amanu la yaskhar ojo geman ngenyek, ojo geman nyepelekno. La yaskhar ojo geman ngenyek utawa nyepelekno sapa kaum min kaumin saking kaum liya. Al ayata etam mimil ayat. Jadi nyempurnakno sira ayat. Nazalat tumurun apa ayat di waktu tamimin ing dalam delegasi tamim. Hina sakharu nalikane ngenyek utawa hina sakhiru nalikane ngenyek sapa bali tamim. Hina sakhiru nalikane ngenyek sapa bali tamim waktu tamim min fuqara il muslimin sang pira-pira fakire wong Islam ka amarin kadene Ammar wa Suhaib bin Suhaib. Wasukhriyatu te maknane ngenyek iku al istiro. Maknane sukhriya iku al istiro tegese ngepeh iku menyepelekan wal istiqaru lan ngino te sami nyepeleni. Kaumun rijalun tegese pira-pira lanang mingkum sing sira kabeh ning komen saking kaum sing liya. Asa menawa sapa ayakune ento ana sapa kaum sing musakhorun